MP for Kisumu West, Honorable Rosa.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Kenyans watching us on TV today are very happy Kenyans, because for the first time in a long, long time, the two sides of parliament or political divide have come together to protect their lives. The constitution that we passed in 2010 by over 67% majority mandated and gave the responsibility to the government to protect the lives of every Kenyan. In no article whatsoever do you find the government being mandated to look for new ways in which Kenyans can die. So when you have a minister in the government actually coming up to applaud GMO because it's a new way that Kenyans can die from, it is unfortunate. Instead of protecting lives, the government is spending its time looking for opportunities and different innovative methods through which Kenyans can die. So depression, hunger, cancer, and all other things that currently kill Kenyans are not enough causes. The government must still look for yet another cause. Mr. Speaker, that makes me a very sad Kenyan. It makes me wonder what this bottom-up philosophy is all about. Because during campaigns, we were told that bottoms-up is actually elevating and bringing up the vulnerable people in the society so that they can also feel like they're people in this society. But with one hand, the government will subsidize fertilizers so that Kenyans or the farmers can actually enjoy a better yield and surplus yield. But when that happens, then they kill you with the other hand by importing GMO that will obviously suppress sales of any of the yields that you've had. So what is the government doing? It is actually spending money that it doesn't need to spend. Because when you subsidize fertilizers, it comes from the money that the government has collected from its people. But then on the other hand, when we've used that money well, and we've planted our maize, and we've got surplus, where we are supposed to enjoy the impact of subsidies from fertilizers, you are actually bringing in GMO or other maize to suppress what we've already had. So the government really does not know what it's doing. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say that today we've seen our brothers and sisters crying in many parts of the country where they've enjoyed good yields. They are crying and saying...
Order, Honorable Rosa Buyu. Honorable Naomi Wako, what is out of order?
I respect Mheshimiwa Rosa, and she's my good friend. But, Mr. Speaker, is it in order for her to say that the government does not know what it's doing when this is the government that is leading the country and doing its best to serve the people?
Honorable Rosa Buyu.
I think we are here to speak.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you. But I think in this House, we are here to give our opinion. And that is a matter of opinion. She can defend that government because she respects and thinks it's doing a good job. I can choose to respect the people of Kenya who are crying for the sweat and the effort that they've put in that is now being trashed because the government has decided to bring in GMO maize. Mr. Speaker, we've watched many Kenyans die, very slow, painful deaths. And if there is any iota of suspicion that GMO could lead to slow deaths of Kenyans, why on earth would the government ignore that and decide that it's going to go on anyway and import GMO maize? Wouldn't the government, if it was responsible, take its time, let the debate go on, put more effort on finding the reality of GMO maize, before it hurriedly brings in the maize to kill more Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I know I come from an area where we don't grow too much maize, but I'm standing here as a Kenyan because what Rift Valley suffers from, all Kenyans will also suffer from that. So don't tell me that I should not speak, I should speak about fish because I know nothing about maize. I'm speaking as a Kenyan, and I'm requesting the government to put Kenyans first, because when it doesn't, it actually points to some cartel trying to bring money and trying to take advantage of the drought and the suffering that Kenyans are currently undergoing so that they can make a kill. Many parts of this country have actually come out to say that they have a lot of maize. The government, all the government has to do is to find a way of moving that maize from where it's surplus and take it to the parts of the country that is actually experiencing drought so that no Kenyan can die of hunger. But instead, the government finds it much easier not to move and mop the maize from within the country, Kenya, but finds it much easier to import maize from afar. If that is not an action of a group of cartels, then I don't know what is. Mr. Speaker, I support the motion by Mr. Honorable Kirwa that under no circumstance should we approve the importation of GMO maize into the country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable